Hey everybody, what up? Scuffy here. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I've got Defenders of Caliban spoilers. Let's check them out.
So off the bat, we're going to start with a common troop. This is a 2-cost troop, Astartes Recruits. And as you can see, they've got the duplicitous icon. The duplicitous icon that's a new trait that comes with the Defenders of Caliban. Now, for those of you who don't know what duplicitous means, this is essentially a trait that prevents your opponent's warlord from either attacking them directly or using an ability to target them until this troop acts, whether that is being attacking or uses an ability, whatever the case may be. It works somewhat in line the way precognition or stealth does, in the fact that it prevents some targeting. However, it can still be targeted by tactics. It can still be targeted by flanking troops or other such troops or cards that your opponent decides to use against it. It just simply prevents warlords from dealing directly with this card. Now, something to keep in mind here, if this card gains frontline, the duplicitous trait is basically null and void at that point. So unlike if you have a frontline troop that gains stealth, it doesn't protect you or precognition on a frontline troop, and that troop doesn't act as a frontline troop. If you were to give Astartes recruits a means of giving them frontline, then they would be targetable by the opponent's warlord. So that's something to keep in mind. This card itself is going to tie into the next 2 cards that I'll be revealing as well. So just bear that in mind as we continue to look at the next upcoming cards. So this one here, we've got a 4-cost Rhino, Frontline 3/5. This is a very similar card that we've seen with several other factions. A Rhino with Frontline coming in at 3 or 4 cost. And as many Rhinos that we've seen in this fashion, this one here has the ability to put a troop into play. Now, this one is put into play versus put it into your hand, which is actually not too bad. For 1 energy, you're getting that 2 energy troop that has 2/3 that also has duplicitous. And so in a way, if you're using this to hold up and protect those troops, if this card were to stay in line, stay alive on the board, you could pay 1 energy, you could gain a duplicitous troop that your opponent cannot directly target with their warlord, nor can they attack because this card here has got frontline and is protecting it. It's not a bad card. I think it's going to have its moments when it comes to event play, and we definitely need to see what other cards there are that will support it. But as far as a frontline card goes, it's fairly evenly statted, and again, this is in line with the cards that we've seen. Similar nature. So, and then we've got a 4 energy tactic, Aspirants of the Order, or Aspirants, depending on which part of the globe you are on. You might pronounce that a little bit differently. This is a 4 energy tactic that provides us an image of 2 aspiring Space Marine Astartes, and as a result of that, the effect is very straightforward. You put in play 2 Astartes recruits, which again hampers back to that card. You're putting those two copies of that 2 energy cost common card into play. They both have duplicitous. You're getting basically an even value. You're getting 2 troops for the price of 1 card. You're not gaining anything with them, no frontline or any other effects, but the fact that they have duplicitous actually could allow for this to be a way to keep troops on the board for the Defenders of Caliban faction. And depending on other cards that exist, some of the cards that we've seen that interact with the number of troops that you might have on board, or the ability to bolster the stats of those troops on your following turn, if your opponent's warlord cannot take care of those troops, then that really makes this a potentially very nice support card, especially if you're aiming to build around a troop style play. So I'm curious to see what other cards we're going to see that will support troops, be it Astartes or infantry, even if it's a warlord who has the ability to either provide protection to those troops or enhance their stats by buffing the stats. So very interesting to see these three cards, how they kind of work together. And so far, some of the cards that we've teased hint that having a wide board for the Defenders of Caliban is the way to go.
So that's it. Those are the new cards, and the duplicitous trait is becoming really apparent as the core feature for the Angels of the Defenders of Caliban. I'm not sure if we're going to see anything else yet to go along with that. Really looking forward to see if we get some sort of troop buff cards that really can strengthen those cards that have survived a turn, because then they can really become a true threat. So it all comes out Friday. I'm excited. I hope you are, and we'll be seeing you in the game. Until then, keep playing Legions.